Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the boy Rod, aka Modest Media. I am here to finally give you my top 10. You know, I haven't been on camera for, quite some time, but as you can see, last year I started trying to, become more of the conversation and be in more videos. So we'll see how that works out this year. I'm trying to ramp up the production team, put out more video content, be in the videos a lot more myself, just kind of giving my opinion so you don't always hear me laughing and just talking behind the camera. I'm trying to get in front of it. Unfortunately, Huey's not here today, so you'll get my top 10 from this perspective, but I won't be in the actual discussion on camera. You'll hear me behind the camera. So without further ado, let me get into this 2019 top 10. Number 10, I have Quelle Chris, Guns. Number 9, I have Brother Ali, Secrets and Escapes. Number 8, I have IDK, Is He Real? Number 7, I have Your Old Droog, It Wasn't Even Close. Number 6, I have Westside Gun, Hitler Wears Hermes 7. Number 5, I have Boogie, Everything's For Sale. Number 4, I have Freddie Gibbs, Madlib, Bandana. Number 3, I had Benny the Butcher, The Plugs I Met. Number 2, I had Rock Marciano, Marcialago. And number 1, I have Griselda, What Would Sheen Do? Are you ready to the top 10 of 2019?
All right.
Starting at 10.
Yeah. All right, at number 10, I have JPEG Mafia with All My Heroes Are Cornballs. At number 9, I have Blue and Oh No. I gotta read this one. A Long Red Hot Los Angeles Summer Night. Number 8, I have Mr. Motherfucking Esquire with Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. At number 7, I have Moody Black with MB3. At number 6, I have Clipping with There Existed an Addiction to Blood. At number 5, I have Yugen Blackrock with Anima Mysterium. At number 4, I have Brother Ali with Secrets and Escapes. At number 3, I have Sadistic with Haunted Gardens. At number 2, I have Chesky with Sad Fat Luck / Sans Soleil. And at number 1, I have Billy Woods with Hiding Places.
Let me know when you're ready. All right, number 10, I have Apollo Brown with Sincerely Detroit. At number 9, I have Rome Street's Noise Candy 3. At number 8, I have Novelist, Sword of Nature. At number 7, I have Brother Ali and Evidence, Secrets and Escape. At number 6, I have Skyzoo and Pete Rock, Retropolitan. At number 5, I have Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, Bandana. At number 4, I have Benny the Butcher with The Plugs I Met. At number 3, I have Add 2, Jim Crow the Musical. At number 2, I have Quelle Chris with Guns. And number 1, of course, no surprise, Rock Marciano, Marcialago.
So do you want me to say my 2019 list is, or just go into it? All right. So at number 10, I got Little Brother, May the Lord Watch. Number 9, technically not hip hop, but one of my favorite projects, Tory Lanez, Chicks Tape 5. Number 8, I got Jim Jones, El Capo. Number 7, I got Westside Gun, Fly God is an Awesome God. Number 6, I got Rock Marciano, Marcialago. Number 5, I got Grip, Snubnose. Number 4, I got Westside Gun, Hitler Wears Hermes 7. Number 3, I got Benny the Butcher, The Plugs I Met. Number 2, I got Griselda, WWCD. And number 1, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, Bandana.
All right, so my 2019 top 10 albums, hip-hop albums of the year. Number 10, JPEG Mafia, All My Heroes Are Cornballs. Number 9 is Little Brother, May the Lord Watch. Number 8 is Epic Beard Men, This Was Supposed to Be Fun. Number 7 is Griselda, WWCD. Number 6 is Billy Woods, Terror Management. Number 5 is Billy Woods and Kenny Siegel, Hiding Places. Number 4 is Add 2, Jim Crow the Musical. Number 3 is Brother Ali, Secrets and Escapes. Number 2 is Benny the Butcher's The Plugs I Met. And number 1, the best album of 2019, Quelle Chris's Guns.
Dead in Hip Hop. Y'all know y'all love these lists. We do it every year. You know what I'm saying? Ken half of the time don't know what the hell he about to put on this list. Modest don't be on it, but he gonna be on it this one, I promise. 2019, man. It was an interesting year at the end of a decade. So if you want to go check out what we did for our decade, make sure you go check out that video. But this one is going to be solely for 2019. You already know what the top 10 are because Modest already put it out there for you. I think Griselda for 3 out of our 4 lists have definitely had at least one spot or multiple spots. Because Myke, you didn't have anybody from Griselda on your list.
The Griselda album on there originally, but it had to come out. It wasn't because it wasn't dope. There was a couple things I had to take off.
What was like your honorable mentions? Like what didn't quite make
This was in my mid-year 5, but it didn't make my 10. It was Little Sims, Gray Area, Euro Drew. That was like a consideration. Little Brother, Billy Woods, and Kenny Siegel, Hiding Place. Eric Sermon album that could drop earlier this year, Vernia. That joint slept on. I think a lot of people slept on that joint.
You know, if y'all go back to the top 5, I said that 3 albums were gonna make it, and they did. They stuck on my top 10. But one of them that I thought was gonna make the top 10, but it just didn't, was Injury Reserve. That and the only reason why is just because I didn't go back to it. It wasn't because it wasn't dope. It was just like, okay, all of these other albums, I just listened more to them.
Did IDK make yours?
IDK didn't make mine.
I know you was
One of the greatest albums that he's ever heard in his entire life.
It was, and I think part of that was, you know, me being emotional in that moment of when that album came out versus what happened, you know what I'm saying, in my life with me, you know, losing my grandma this year. But that's another album that was definitely honorable mention that I was like, damn, like this was a really dope album, but from an entertainment perspective, I just didn't really go back to it, you know, much after around that time.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was anticipating to see if that still was.
That should have been number 1. It should have been number 1 through 10.
Right.
Best album you ever heard in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's still one of the better.
Right?
It made Rod's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I had a couple other ones. Currency Trademark and Young Roddy, I want to say, Plan of Attack. Like, that's a project I definitely listened to. The EP was Smoke Dizza and Benny. But I was just like, bro, this nigga, I didn't hear that. Oh, that was good. Yeah, Statute of Limitations.
Produced by Pete Rock.
Yep. That was really good. Even Sky Zoo and Pete Rock, Retropolitan. Like, that was another one that I was like, damn, I want to put on here, but you know, I don't really listen to it like that. So I had a couple, man. I had a couple. Shit, even the Maxo Cream didn't make my list, but Maxo did.
That's one. I forgot all about him.
Yeah, Maxo Cream almost made my list too, man. Brandon Banks. And I listen to that a lot. So it's not like because I didn't listen to that one literally was fighting between that and Little Brother. And that was really dope.
The biggest one was fucked up is when I was doing my my list. Rod mentioned Euro Drew, and I completely forgot about that album. But that definitely should have been on my list because the most recent one. Most recent one, I think it's probably his best work, and that really should have been my number 10. But I literally forgot about it until he said something, so I was like, "Fuck!" I think it's because it just came out, but I've been listening to it a lot, and I don't know. I guess I just forgot about it. It's one of those things where it's always in your face, so then you just walk away, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. But Danny Brown, that was definitely an honorable mention. Quelly Chris wasn't in my list, but that was an honorable. Freddie Gibbs wasn't there. The Epic Beardman album, that was actually battling for number 10, but I think the album's great. The Aesop Rock album with Tobacco, those were all honorable mentions. That Griselda. But it just really came down to what did I return to the most. And it's one of those things where it's like, damn, I want to prop up this album, but I can't lie. I listened to this album more. So that's really just what it was.
Yeah, and that leads me to one of the albums that I have put on my list that kind of technically, and if y'all want to come at me in the comments and in my @mentions on Twitter and IG, y'all more than welcome to. I'll go back and forth with you. But was the Tory Lanez album, Chicks Tape 5. And there is some rapping on there, right? But it's not necessarily a rapping album. It's really it's an R&B album.
What is it called?
Chicks Take 5. Yeah, well I'm gonna kind of get into like a slight mini review. The reason why I had to put this on there was number one, first and foremost, how much I actually listened to this project. The only reason why it's not higher on the list is because it's not a hip hop album. However, I've been listening to his Chick Tape series since the beginning, and where he took it to now to actually remake or remix these albums or these songs and kind of give them new life and then feature the artist that was originally featured on it and kill it, it's one of the best musical albums that I've listened to this year, regardless of genre. And again, I think it's just a little bit nostalgic for me just because I was there from the beginning. So I knew kind of where he went, and for him to end here with this project is fucking amazing. Really amazing.
I actually almost put Little Brother Made a Lord Watch on mine. I know I was giving that one a hard time when we reviewed it, but I actually afterwards, and I knew I would, I actually listened to that album a lot.
Okay.
A Long Hot LA Summer Night was actually dope, and I actually went to listen to it because you had it in your top 5. And I was like, damn, this shit is dope.
It's crazy dope.
It's crazy dope. So that almost made it. That I actually put that in and out of my list a couple times. The Danny Brown, I really like the vibe of Danny Brown. I think I said that on the review too. So that almost made my top 10. And Grip almost made it.
Yeah.
Grip almost made my top 10.
That's another one that almost made it.
So yeah, those were just 4. But when I started going through this, man, I was like, man, this actually was kind of tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
This was actually a dope year.
And I remember we were saying that earlier this year it was kind of slow. But when I look back,
It started off slow.
And that's kind of rewinding a couple of conversations. You said that 2019 didn't start off slow for you.
No, it didn't for me because there was a bunch of like indie rap stuff that came out at the top of the year. But I remember when we had a discussion about overall, I said I can understand why y'all would think that it was a slow year.
You know, it's crazy. Dead in Hip Hop isn't necessarily a decade old. Like, we started in 2011. But I think this is the first time, or the second time, since we've been Dead in Hip Hop that Rock Marcy's made my list.
when was the first time?
I want to say it was. Oh no, he didn't. It was Ka. I'm confusing him with Ka.
Yeah.
It was Ka that made the list one time. So this is the first time Rock Marcy made a list for me.
I was surprised when you said it at the beginning.
But y'all saw the review though,
Yeah.
that, like this shit bang. Like
I didn't think to that point.
Yeah, me neither.
yeah, and I'm almost in my top 5. But then when I was thinking about Grip or this one, I was like, damn, bro, like I be banging that Grip, man. So
Grip nice.
that Grip,
That Grip nice.
B, I appreciate you.
Yeah, that Grip is nice.
That was one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Grip was an honorable mention. Snub Nose. Earth Gang's Mirrorland was another one. Code of the Fiend is one, and he has an album called Photo, which was really good. So I wanted to shout that out. Q actually put me on that and asked me if I listened to it. So I checked it out. I thought it was really good. And Rock Marciano didn't make it this year.
Oh, he was on your
He did not make it this year.
Why not?
Marcilago. I liked the other ones a little bit better. It was as good as that one was. I think the previous years, the projects have been so great for me. Like, we're talking about top 3 great, that it felt like this one was missing that special that I normally get from him. And I thought it was a really, really good album, but it wasn't right there. Like, I didn't hear that deep soul samples that I get from him. It was just something about it that didn't quite resonate with me the way the others have. So, in other words, I'm holding it to a really high standard compared to his previous projects.
And B, was Rock number 1 on your list?
Yeah.
So only me, Modest, and B had Freddie on there. I already knew you wasn't gonna have Freddie on there because you was
not even close.
So it never came around.
Not even close. It wasn't even a consideration.
So I know you mentioned it on your honorable mentions. How close was it to actually making the list?
It wasn't that close.
Okay.
'Cause I like it. I like the album, but I don't return to it that much. I really, really don't.
But and then for y'all too, like, why wasn't it higher on the list for y'all?
I mean, it was in my top 5. You know what I'm saying?
What number was it? It was 3 for you?
It was 4 for me.
4 for you.
5 for me.
5 for you.
But you know what? The funny thing in my top 5, I posted it on my Twitter. Freddie, the bandana was higher than Benny, but Benny moved up for me. Because I had Benny I had bandana at number 1. I had like Benny at 2 or something like that. And I think Benny just kind of trumped it. I found myself listening to the Benny project more than the bandana project.
Well, what surprised me, especially because, y'all know how I feel about Rock Marcy and no drums and stuff like that, was how many Griselda projects I had on here. And if I would have been in tune to Conway, this shit might have been all fucking Griselda for me, which is fucking crazy because I put, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of my top 10 were Griselda projects.
And I know somebody said it in the verse. I think it was Conway's, like how that everybody got Griselda as their top 5, all Griselda members.
Yeah, that's on the Griselda album.
Yeah.
I think this was the year of Griselda. As much as dope shit that then came out, like they were the people that were getting their names talked about the most. Cause it just seemed like every other month there was a project, and it didn't disappoint. Like every time they came out with something, it was top tier. It was top notch. It had everybody talking about it. It had Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z put a couple of Griselda songs on his end of year playlist. You know what I'm saying? I even saw where Benny posted when he was playing. I want to say it was either WWCD or the
just trying
Trucks
to
I
get
Met.
back in good with black folks.
And then we just saw LeBron posted
Benny Butcher. Yeah, so I think 2020 is gonna even be
Probably
bigger.
ain't listening to Benny the Butcher, man.
Why are you such a hater, bro?
He ain't listening to Benny the Butcher.
Why? Because he was bobbing his head wrong?
Nah, shout out to LeBron.
It's a
That's
good
still
look,
dope,
though. It's a good look,
that's
though.
still
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, about time he doing something right when it comes to music.
Who?
He be tripping
LeBron?
sometimes.
LeBron just be trying to be tuned in to that young wave a little bit. We are. However,
Needs to be discussed.
it does to a degree. But LeBron does put people on to a lot of dope shit too. Like I was just telling Myke back there. Like LeBron was bigging up Big Crit back when he was in Miami. What I got this year. You know what I'm saying? When they won that championship, that's all they were playing. They were playing
Oh, yeah, I
Crit.
remember that.
You know what I'm saying? So
That
he,
did wonders for Crit.
yeah, he also played Nipsey when Victory Lap came out last year. You know what I'm saying? He was giving big ups to Nipsey and stuff. So LeBron is tuned in, man. LeBron is tuned in. I just think that he also tries to appeal to his son's generation and tries to be on some of these younger type artists too. But it is what it is, man.
Shout out to Benny.
I honestly could have done a top 20 easy.
Oh, easy
Because I mean,
this
I
year.
wanted to put that Matt Homie in there too. I want to make sure I say that so Aleem don't get mad at me again. But yeah,
He probably mad at me.
Huh?
He probably gonna get mad at
Oh,
me.
he gonna get mad at all of us because he not in anybody's list. But it was just too much shit. It was hard to narrow down. So some stuff had to go out.
I want to go back to this. Was it really a good year?
Yes, it was a good year
was.
for rap, bro.
Or is it really just the albums that we pay particular attention to?
Nah, it was a good year because going back to what Myke was saying, personally, I think I could have made a top 20 and it would have been easier than this top 10.
Yeah, because sometimes I base my list on like, or when I'm making my list, when I be like, well, damn, this project, like I had like a long list of these albums that came out that I enjoyed, and so in my eyes, I'm like, okay, well, shit, this was a good year for me. To me, I think it was a good year in hip hop because I got, like Myke said, I can make a top 20, top 25 easily.
So we couldn't have made a top 20 in previous years?
Those were good years too.
Yeah. But I think some years would have been harder than this year.
Yeah.
Like this year would have been mad easy to make a top 20. Easy. And I still probably would have had to cut some people out.
I had a top 20.
Okay, so when we had the top 5 discussion, I wanted to make sure I was being fair when I criticized the year because there were a lot of things that I was not paying attention to. So I knew I couldn't unfairly say that it wasn't a bad year if I wasn't really paying attention to some of those albums that people were naming. But when I was just listening, I'm like, maybe it's just we listen to certain albums, but we didn't venture outside of that and listen to stuff that we normally wouldn't listen to. Like more of the mainstream stuff or more of the underground stuff, depending on what your particular tastes are. So that could kind of alter our perception of what the year will look like.
That doesn't make anything a good or a bad year, though. What makes it a good year is, and it's typically a personal thing, but what make it a good year for you or for you is, was there a lot of music that came out that you enjoyed?
Exactly.
Me factoring in the shitty mainstream project, that doesn't mean it's a good or a bad year.
No, it wouldn't, even though you wouldn't necessarily enjoy them, but I think...
But mainstream had a good year too, Ken. Like you talking about Meg Thee Stallion. Like Baby blew up in 2019. Lil Baby blew up in 2019. Gunna.
Lil Baby fell off. Lil Baby fell off.
Baby fell off when?
Lil Baby.
Oh, he said Da Baby, I thought.
I know, he said the baby, and then he added Lil Baby.
Lil Baby didn't fall off. He didn't fall off.
People were talking about Meg and the baby all year long.
Of course, those were the top two. Yeah. Those were the top two.
But I didn't hear really anyone talking about Lil Baby.
Because you don't really but if you listen to the radio, and I don't listen to the radio every day, all day, sometimes I'm hearing
Lil Baby got one of the top hits right now. It's called Whoa.
He does.
Young Thug's So Much Fun made a lot of people's list as one of the best albums of the year.
It did.
And you heard it?
I didn't listen to the
But I haven't heard that album, and I haven't heard many people talking about it. So
but
even though I don't listen to certain things, I can still see the conversations take place.
But like
and the type of conversations.
But Lil Mick
take
is talking
place
about Young Thug, and they've talked.
I don't know if they were really that hyped. I have to remember. Maybe Nemo was, but that's how also I keep track of what's going on too. But it's just when I think about when you said the mainstream was good, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
I think okay, so it depends on the word, right? Like we can substitute words and this, that, and the third. I'm just saying that the mainstream had a good year in terms of blowing people up and people staying relevant for the entire year, and people having like big time anthems out there. Like the Baby, like if you turn on the radio right now, you're gonna hear 6 straight songs of the Baby.
And we're talking about the Baby. The Baby had one of the best years this year, but it was the Baby and Meg Thee Stallion. Even if she kind of started to take broad, but that's expected. I mean, you can't
stay on top of the whole.
And maybe the Baby, I think he started with controversy, and I think he started to pick up. And he has some very viral moments that happened this year with the fight and the video that happened on Twitter. So you see, and then of course the recent arrest.
That's all part of mainstream, though. You're saying these things to like make your argument against them. I'm just saying,
where is Young Thug? Where's the conversation about Young Thug? Where's the conversation about all these other mainstream artists? They're not taking place.
But we know that mainstream is a revolving door, and it's who's the hottest right now.
It should be more than just 2. There should be, if we're talking about mainstream is going to be good, there should at least be 10 artists that when I think of mainstream putting out quality records, whether I like them or not, again, I'm talking about the conversation that take place around them. I don't think there's that many. If you talk about the indie scene that Myke was talking about and the stuff that you're talking about, I can see that more easily than mainstream. So when I take all of that and put it together, and I look at hip hop as a whole,
so let me ask. So are you
one side carrying another?
So are you saying
to be in a good year?
So are you saying that this was a mediocre year in hip hop?
I think it was a very average year. I think it was a very average year.
You know.
I think that if I had to add further context, I think maybe the indie underground scene was probably a little bit stronger, but I don't think the mainstream did their part to hold up to it.
I can agree with the mainstream part.
So therefore, I gotta detract some points from it.
How can you agree with the mainstream part when he just gave examples of a lot of mainstream people that blew up?
He gave me like 2 artists.
He didn't give you 2 artists.
He gave me 3.
Listening.
I don't think we got projects from like the Drakes and the Kendricks and the.
We got J. Cole. J. Cole.
Yeah, Dreamville.
Revenge of the Dreamville.
That wasn't a J. Cole project.
It's a J. Cole project, bro, and it's still a mainstream project.
Yeah.
And people did have that on their list.
And that shit came and went.
No, it didn't. People still have that on their list.
Y'all really look at that Dreamville as a.
Who's y'all, first of all?
Even if they did though, it's still.
But okay, hold on. Didn't Cardi B blew up last
2018? Cardi B is all commercials this year, bro.
2018.
Okay, well she got to capitalize on everything that happened from.
But is it a bad year for mainstream rap? Was there a bunch of mainstream artists that came out and their albums got shit on?
Meek Mill dropped.
People did like that project.
Yeah, and Meek Mill was talked about all of 2019.
While they dropped the album.
And but people loved it though. People loved it. People did really enjoy Wale
fans.
And they really loved his singles.
There you go. Yeah. So you hurt your own case. You over here bringing up one.
I'm just giving you guys some more names that nobody talking about.
But their albums didn't get destroyed. They got propped. People liked them.
That's because the mainstream media is afraid to.
But you just said mainstream was bad. Like it was a bad year for mainstream rap.
Exactly. Would you say Lizzo is hip hop? Sort of.
I don't know. I mean, people do put her in the hip hop category.
Okay. So then
Lizzo.
No.
The reason why I'm saying it's a bad year because he doesn't enjoy that type of music. Exactly. So therefore, you're saying it's a bad year. But no, these artists had huge years.
One of the things I said that even though I don't necessarily like some of the albums that people say are great. I think people, because all I'm hearing is like. I'm not hearing anybody say people are saying these albums were great or amazing.
plenty of people said that Post Malone's album was great and or amazing.
Okay.
Does it make sense to me? No. I don't like it, but I can't say it was a bad year for mainstream rap.
It wasn't a bad. It was bad year for you.
Would you consider Tyler the Creator mainstream?
Who?
Shit, yeah. At this point, and his album did amazing, but he's not. It wasn't a hip hop project either, though.
Yeah.
That almost made my list too.
Anyway.
Really?
But I took it out because
Because it's not really a hip hop album.
It's
You're a
It
hater,
in my
bro.
top 5 though. I put it in my top 5, but I took it out of this one because I wanted to make way for actual hip hop projects.
Sure. Everyone that was in my top 5 mid-year
Made it.
is still on my top 10.
That's something I wanted to
Billy
ask.
Woods, Chesky, Sadistic, Moody Black, and Blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, two of my top 5s got removed. That was Currency and Static Select, the Gran Turismo, and Injury Reserve. Those are the 2 that didn't make the
Any
top 10.
particular reason why they didn't make the top 10 when they were in your top 5?
Oh man, the Currency project was partly because of Currency, because you know he dropped so many projects throughout the year, and then the other one, Injury Reserve, and again it was only because I just didn't go back to him like that.
I still haven't listened to the Blue, and oh no.
You tripping?
I know.
Yeah,
I
you're 365 days late,
and
bro.
I fucked up at the mid-year too, and I wish I played the Esquire more too. And I think I'm gonna have a regret on that one because I did like it when I listened to it. I just didn't play it enough to place it.
Any in your top 5 that didn't make your top 10?
I can't even remember my top 5.
Sims and Clear Soul Forces.
They didn't make your top 10. Any particular reason why?
Just second half, man, was strong. A lot of albums pushed it out. Like Novelist solo joint pushed out his group's joint for me. So yeah, man, I was like, wow, that's sort of nature, man. That shit is dope as hell.
Yo, so that concludes 2019. Great year in hip hop, regardless of what the old man to my left says. I think all around it was an amazing year. However, it was also an amazing decade. So if you want to go check out our top albums of the decade, make sure you go check that out if it's not out already. Peace.